Okay, today we're going to go over the test review for equations and inequalities. I'm going to go ahead and try not to talk too much. I'm going to do the work, and then I want you to look, and I will explain the parts that I think that need to be explained. So first we're going to go through 1 through 6. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my answers 1 through 6. Let me get it on here so it's... Okay, so now that I got it sized right. Alright, so the first one, and again, I'm going to kind of highlight the answer is A. Okay, the work is right there. Number 2, the answer is B. Notice that we have a negative D here, so I had to divide or multiply, or I had to divide by -1. Okay. Alright, number 3, again, I'm just going to highlight the important parts. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay, so I got rid of the fraction by multiplying both sides by a -3. And I ended up with the answer of B. So I cleared my fraction by multiplying both sides by -3. Okay, number 4, I'm going to go up. Okay, here I combined like terms on the left side of the equation to make it 15, and I subtracted 15, and I did the work, and I ended up with a D for number 4. And if you need to figure out what I did, stop it, pause it, see if you can follow my steps. Number 5, there was multiple steps to this. I did my distributive property. I combined like terms in the p's. I combined like terms with the numbers. I then did the opposite by adding 19 to both sides. I ended up with 18 on one side and 6p on the other side, and I divided. I ended up with p is equal to 3, which was letter A choice. Okay, number 6. Okay, again, I needed to move things from both sides of the equation, so I moved my 2x to the other side, then I moved my 5 to the other side by doing the opposites, divided by 2, and I got x is equal to 2, so it's letter A. Now we're moving on to the next page. We're going to do questions 7 through 10. And on this one, the most important thing when you find your answer choices is that your answer choice matches the graph. Okay, so now let's go to the answers. Okay, starting with number 7. Again, I'm not going to tell you everything I did, but my answer choice is C. There was a line under it, so it's a solid circle. X is on the small side, so the numbers are smaller than -2. Number 8, we're going to multiply both sides by a -5. When you multiply or divide by a negative number, you flip the sign. Don't forget to do that. And your answer choice is C. Again, make sure your choice of your graph matches. Here's 9. The 9 was just divide both sides by 4. Do not need to flip the sign. Hold on, sorry. So my answer choice is B, matching my graph. And then number 10, we had to flip the sign because we divided by a -4, so our sign is flipped, and I got letter D. It's an open circle because there is no line under the inequality, and we flipped it. So it's open circle, A is bigger than, so all the numbers that are bigger than. Alright, the next questions are going to be from 11 through 15. And I'm going to go to my answers that I've already done. Okay, starting with the 11. This is a compound inequality. It's an end compound inequality. So I wrote both ends, and then I repeated the middle term, and now I just did the math. Okay, once I do that, I found out that my answer choice is B, and so I have -3 is less than x, and x is less than 8, and I squish those together to get this answer choice, and that's what you'll find on the multiple choice there. Number 12, okay, it's an absolute value inequality, so we are going to set up two answers. The first is a +6, the second is a -6, and we flip the sign at that point. Then we just do the math, and then we graph it. It's an OR problem, so they're both going to go in opposite directions. 8 is smaller than negative, or D is smaller than -8, and D is larger than or equal to 4, and so they're both solid circles and opposite directions for D. 13, just a simple solving an equation or inequality, and my answer choice is B. Number 14, again, a pretty simple solving inequality, but we divided by a negative. That means we flip the sign. So my answer choice is A. Again, if you're not sure what I did, stop it, study it, ask me questions before the test. Okay, and number 15, a little complicated problem, a little bit more to it. So we've got combining like terms on the side of the inequality first. We're going to put those together to get 9x. And then here, we've got this next step. We're going to do our distributive property right here. And we ended up with a -17 and a +9, because this is an invisible 1. They don't write it up here, but it's there. Okay, now get all the x's together on this side. That's where I got the 13. I put -4, -9 together to get 13x. I'm going to move the 9 to the other side, so I end up with 4x. Then I'm adding 17 to both sides, and I end up with 28 is greater than 4x. Then I divide by 4, I divide by 4. I do not need to flip the sign, so my answer choice is letter B. Okay, the last part of this, I'm trying to figure out how to do it quickly so you don't have to spend too much time checking your work unless you need it. Okay, 16 through 20, those are the questions, and here's my prepared answers. Okay, so number 16 is up here. Okay, and if you look at the graphs, the answer to the graph is letter D. And if you look at 17, the answer to the graph is letter D. Okay, 18. We've got two separate inequality problems, and you're just going to go ahead and solve them like you do any other. And then you're going to pick out the graph. And the graph of on your answer, it doesn't include this -6 that's an open circle. It's hard to see. It's pointing in that direction. If you look closely, you can see it, but the answer choice is D. Number 7, absolute value. Remember, absolute value is going to have two problems. We move the 7 over, and then we get 13, but it can be x is equal to 13 or x is equal to -13, so answer choice is B. And the very last one is you're going to divide by -2 first, both sides. Okay, then you end up with absolute value h minus 7 is equal to +14, because negative and negative is a positive. Set it up with two problems. H minus 7 is equal to 14, and h minus 7 is equal to -14. Move the 7s by adding them to both sides, and do it to both equations, and you're going to end up with h is equal to 21 and h is equal to negative 7. And there's my answer choice. It's letter C. Okay, so again, if you missed a problem, go back, study what I did. If you have questions, come see me in the morning before the test, and hopefully this will help you. Okay, and good luck on your test.